Hey guys, SKTWINZTV here, and we've got another little show for you about boxing this time. Specifically, I want to talk about Wladimir Klitschko announcing his retirement today from professional boxing after a long 21-year illustrious career at the top of the game, multiple time world champion, and great role model for people all around the world. Even though Eddie Hearn of Matchroom had penciled in a rematch on the 11th of November in the wake of their first fight at Wembley Stadium earlier this year in April, after 69 fights and after 21 years in the highest level of the sport, Wladimir Klitschko has decided that he doesn't want to have the rematch and he'd rather just retire from boxing altogether. Now, I just want to read a little statement from Wladimir today, from an article that I read on Sky Sports. The article read, and I just want to give a direct quote from Wladimir himself. "I deliberately took a few weeks to make my decision, to make sure I had enough distance from the fight at Wembley Stadium. As an amateur and as a professional boxer, I have achieved everything I dreamed of. And now, I start my second career after sports." I just want to keep reading on Vladimir's quotes. "I would have never imagined that I would have such a long and incredibly successful boxing career. I'm very thankful for this, and I thank everybody. Everyone who has always supported me, especially my family, my team, and my many fans." Wladimir has been a pro since 1996, after he won a gold medal in the Atlanta Olympic Games. He became pro that same year, and at the beginning of his professional career, he never had as much success as the amateur career, as immediate success, if you like. He recovered from a very early defeat in his pro campaign to claim the WBO heavyweight title in 2003. Then Klitschko lost his belt to Corey Sanders in 2003, the same year he won it. And then when Lemon Brewster handed Wladimir his second defeat in a row, Wladimir and his team really had to start thinking about, what can we do to change things? Where can we go to try and fix this situation? Let's try and find a coach. Let's try and find somebody's philosophy who can change the results for us. I mean, Wladimir always had exceptional physical gifts that we could all dream for. Being as tall as he is, had the reach advantage, being extremely athletic. I mean, genetically as well. Him and his twin brother, I mean, they have some serious genetics for combat sports. So after that happened, they really had to sit down, go back to the drawing board, and they had to figure out what they're going to do. And they decided to team up with the late great Emmanuel Stewart, who's trained many championship boxers and had incredible success with anybody he trains. Now, this new system and philosophy that Wladimir took upon himself and started to adopt, it led to an 11-year unbeaten run. 11 years. And he claimed in that time and defended 3 of the 4 world major titles before his late 2015 points defeat to Tyson Fury, who in no stretch of the imagination is a scrub in any way, shape or form. Tyson Fury is elite level, world caliber. So it's not like Wladimir lost to some Joe Schmog who is not a reputable boxer. Tyson Fury is very reputable and extremely talented, and sort of cast under the shadows, to be honest. He doesn't get as much respect as he should for his boxing. I feel he is exceptional, and he is going to be the world champion again. But that's besides the point. Right now we're talking about Wladimir. I just wanna end on a little quote from Wladimir after the Joshua fight. Quote begins: "I never thought I would say such a thing, but I achieved much greater success than I would have had I won." End quote. Now he's talking about the Anthony Joshua fight at Wembley Stadium. Now, he's very true in saying that, and that statement alone just shows how humble, what his approach actually is to the game, and the fact that he sees victory in the praise he's receiving all round from critics, fans, professionals all over the world. Because Wladimir was criticised for a long time for the sort of fights that they were promoting and putting on in Ukraine. I mean, but at the end of the day, no one was really propping up in the heavyweight division to challenge him and his brother. And this kind of fight, and the way he fought, the way after he was knocked down, he came back and knocked Anthony down in the 6th round, and after Anthony was up, Wladimir was really taking it to him, and a lot of people say that Wladimir could have won the fight after the 6th round, as Joshua took 2 rounds to recover and get his head back in the game. In those 2 rounds, now for some reason Wladimir never stepped on the gas and tried to finish Joshua. I truly believe, and I still believe, him, because Joshua was literally limping around the ring for 2 rounds until he regained focus, regained his composure, and was ready to go. And very well done from Anthony. He managed to get a stoppage in the 11th round. But regardless, Wladimir showed how much determination, how much passion for the sport to win, his mental strength to come in and take on a young challenger, a young champion like Anthony Joshua, who everybody is avoiding and is getting built up the best way possible. I mean, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and all the people involved in Anthony's career, they really know what they're doing, and they're really building him up the right way, and taking little steps all the way leading up to that point of the Wladimir showdown in Wembley Stadium. So he's got great people behind him, and he's a young, hungry champion. And someone like Wladimir, you have to face it, someone like him, and this is the reason why I give him even more respect. Someone like him of his caliber did not need to fight Anthony Joshua at the tail end of his career. Wladimir could have easily fought a couple of easy bouts, and then had a farewell fight in the Ukraine. Everybody would have been great, yeah, blah blah, excellent, happy ending. No, he chose to go out like a champion, to go out on his shield. He chose to fight the contender. He chose to fight the hungry young lion, the guy everybody's saying is going to be the best, and he's going to do this and he's going to do that. And Anthony is those things. He is the next best thing. He is a great prospect. So it just goes to show you Vladimir's last 2 fights that he lost. I mean, it's against Tyson Fury, one other hungry young lion who's a world contender, who is one of the best in the world right now. In my opinion, the best heavyweight in the world right now. There's nobody who comes close to Tyson Fury. And then you have Vladimir's last defeat and final fight of his 21-year career was Anthony Joshua, another guy who's an absolute young lion. So you have to respect the fact that at the end of his career, when many fighters would just take the easiest fight possible, Wladimir took the hardest fights possible. He fought the youngest and hungriest lions out there. And I just want to say, big up to boxing, big up to people like Wladimir Klitschko, who is a huge role model, a huge inspiration to fighters all over the world. Even people who aren't into boxing and combat sports, they can watch this sport and really appreciate what people like Wladimir bring to the table. He's a gentleman. He knows how to conduct himself in the appropriate manner. He was an excellent champion. He had all the belts for a long time. He's the type of competitor you wouldn't see ever saying anything negative about anybody. Very sportsmanlike. And also the fact that other people from other walks of life can come into this sport and really appreciate the sport because of Wladimir's level of education. He actually has a sports science PhD, as well as being a multiple-time world champion. So it just goes to show you the different levels and strands that this man actually has. He's not just a one-trick pony. He's actually, anything he puts his mind to, he'll be the best at it. You know, so it really goes to show you these things. And we need more boxers like that. We need more fighters in combat sports in general like that. Just so people can't say all these negative things about our sport. That, it's all just barbarians in there. They're thugs. They are not professionals. They aren't educated. All these different things that you hear all the time, and people like to make arguments for. People like Wladimir and his brother come in and they just completely trample on those arguments and make them look really silly and stupid. Because if you look into it and you actually find, and this goes for across the board in all combat sports, most predominantly the combat sports I watch and enjoy and love, mixed martial arts, boxing, Muay Thai, that rather more than not, the competitors are educated people. I mean, a lot of them have degrees, a lot of them are well educated and are well versed human beings. You do have a large proportion of people who came from a very rough background and they had nothing in life, and this was the only sort of thing to lead them out of the vagabond sort of stray life, you know what I mean, street life, which is amazing, because for me that's another powerful thing about combat sports, that it gives those people, the voiceless people, a track in life to go down, and a clear track that they can achieve, and they can have those things, all those great things that other people they see around them having. But on the flip side of the coin, it's very important to have people of Wladimir's sort of stature in the sport and relevant in the sport today at the highest level, because of how he conducts himself, because of how he expresses himself, because of how his outlook on life in general helps him in any field he chooses to go into. So it just big up to Wladimir and his brother, who dominated the heavyweight division between them for a long time. And I just want to point out another little thing, that they were criticised for a lot of their career for fighting bums and fighting lesser opposition in the Ukraine, and just sort of fighting for money and defending their belt constantly against just lesser opposition. This is partly true, but at the same time, another fact that's undeniable and unrefutable is the fact that when these two were around in their prime, there was no other heavyweights. There's literally no other heavyweights who could challenge them. Until now, really. You have Tyson Fury, you've got Deontay Wilder, you've got Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker, all these heavyweights coming through now, and even some younger ones coming through in America. So it just goes to show you, really, that there was no one really around to challenge them at that time. And then now when the challengers arose, he fought Tyson straight away. He fought Anthony Joshua. Vitaly, Vladimir's brother, fought Lennox Lewis back in the day. So it just goes to show you, they were sort of unlucky being in a time when there was not much competition for them, apart from in the tail end of their career. So, saying that, I just want to say big up to Wladimir, and I hope him the most happiness, the most contentfulness, and I hope in his mind he's very happy and content with what he done in boxing, because all his fans are, and we really are here. And I just want to say that whatever he goes into doing, I hope he is happy with doing that, and he does it with the same amount of passion he put into boxing and into his education, which I know he will do. Whether it's politics, whether it's charity work, whether it's running gyms, their own promotions, whatever they do, I wish them the most success in the world, and I wish his family good health and happiness. This was just a little farewell video for Wladimir Klitschko, and I just want to say farewell here from SKTWINZTV. Peace out, and we'll have another little breakdown of the weekend's boxing for you in the next video. Keep on lookout for that. This is Cammy here, and it's peace for now.